Hi, how are you? I was on earlier, but I don't know if the tape took. So I felt that I should come on. I was going out and then I decided not to go. So, how's everyone? How are we doing tonight? How are you feeling? Really, how are you feeling? I was just on a few hours ago. We were having such a magnificent conversation. I decided to stay home and to have this conversation with you guys again. How beautiful the conversation was. The interaction was amazing. Thank you. Thank you for being present. Thank you for showing up. And thank you for showing out. I am here to be real and authentic, to talk about who we are and why we are, and not being afraid to be truthful with our words, how we feel. It's not really our outer appearance, actually, it's who we are within. And like I was talking before, I am really, really struggling with this energy of the Scorpio because I need to be expressive and expressive of myself. And I don't trust many people to express to. Because, sometimes they don't even understand what I'm saying. Because sometimes when we in that minush, our dialect will change. And how we come to the world will change. And a lot of people don't want to see that part of us. We want to live in fantasy land and oh, that's what it was. It was the Great Oz. We're living in the Great Oz, looking for a Disneyland that never sleeps. But you see, we're going through some rapid changes. Our souls are being challenged. Our hearts are being challenged. Our minds are being challenged. Our patience is being challenged. Our fortitude is being challenged. Every aspect of who we are is being challenged. And we're being challenged for the conditions of our heart and where our heart lies with us in this beautiful construct that we live in, this construct that we call life, this construct that we call the element of power and success, is truly figment of our imagination. We're playing this story in this play with the leaders having their way. We don't even flinch. We don't even say, shh, don't talk about that. Don't talk about that. Wow. They're setting up the game for us to play because we don't want to say. We don't want to say how we feel. We don't want to embrace the love that we have within us to be able to give that to others. We don't want to do that. Because I don't want to be vulnerable to anyone. They might truly see who I really am. And since I've been hiding it for so long, and I don't want anybody to know about it, wow, if he or she gets close, I'll be exposed. And that exposure is not merely for her, for him. That exposure is because now you truly see the person you masqueraded as. It has nothing to do with the other person. Of course not. When you elevate yourself to a higher consciousness and you begin to center your I am and become that visible being of vibrational consciousness, those type of things don't even cross your mind. They're like foreign to you. Because see, when you are conscious of who you are and why you are, then you have a different perspective of your neighbor, your lover, your friend, your children. You change how you see them, which changes your perspective of who they are to you. We talk about narcissism so much, but if you look it up, narcissism was a medieval god, and his name was Narcissus. And he wanted everything dead before him. That's why we have this conflict within ourselves. We have this conflict that plays itself out into the world of which we live in. And when we see the manifestations of the concept that we feel inside of us, that's exactly what we're drawing. I spoke earlier in one of my discussions is that People disappear only because of intense fear. People disappear because they're afraid of what they see, and they think you would judge them the way they judge themselves. And half the time, you don't even know that's the battle that's going on in their head. That's how you become the victim. But when you realize that there is something for you, exactly mastered for you, your perspective of those who hurt you will change, because it no longer becomes about you, because you know it's not about you. And when you are aligned with yourself and you are aligned with the I am, knowing the I know who I am, and I know why I'm here, and I understand some parts of that, it will change how you understand people that don't have understanding. Because people that don't have understanding wouldn't do some of the things they do because it hurts other people. So some people are just like that. The most important thing is to really know that I really believe all this chaos around us is so we can truly get to know ourselves. Because what's interesting about this is we're seeing so many negative narratives. We can be triggered constantly. And so each time you're triggered with something, you're able to see what is bothering you. So if that thing bothers you, then start dissecting it and saying, why am I so bothered by this when it really has nothing to do with me? But because you're bothered by it, it has all to do about you. And then as you start working at all about you and pulling aside and seeing it for what it says and putting it right here and making it tangible to yourself, your perspective on that person that caused the conflict within your soul will dissipate. And now you will see their begals and the reason you had to go through that. Because every relationship, I don't care if it's friend or foe, is by design. And all relationships are created by design to help you deal with how you love and the conflict within you. And what we're here to do is to bring balance between love and conflict and making that work for us in a harmonious way. And as we do that, we raise the consciousness for the whole world. Have you ever just been in an airport and saw two old couples, and you can tell they've been together forever, and the husband, you know, with his fragile self, he picks her up to help her along her way. That's what the constitution of love is. is to be able to see your someone else outside of you, even though the whole construct of love is about you. But when you learn that you part, it has nothing to do but synergy. That energy will go in through and out this universe and help heal us all. But when we have this conflict, I have been having a very hard time, speaking on this, because a lot of times the men are not really receptive. And it's really hard because in the most crucial part of this society right now, our men are hurting. They're hurting deeply. And what is so crazy is where they really truly need to be the strongest, but they're hurting. They're lost. And I empathize with them because I've seen their pain personally in my own relationships. And it's so sad because when there is love, I don't care if it's a love of a mother, a love of a child, a love of an animal, there's something simply magical with how that heals the body and heals the soul. And we are so broken. And I wish, I am so intuitive. I'm so intuitive, but I haven't got any insight on what is going on with the male energy. I haven't, and I don't think it's meant for me to know right now. And I honor that and I respect that. But it blows me away because even as I'm speaking to you, I can feel their pain. I can feel the hiding within themselves. I can feel the hiding, and in their spirit, in their soul. They're just hiding, and they're very tired. And that's what's hard to see. It's really difficult to see. And the more I'm so deep into integration, because like I said, this energy is really hitting the Scorpio like nobody's business. It's hitting us really, really hard. And the more I see and feel it, it like blows me away. It blows me away because it's just it's a lot of the masculine energies, a lot of them that are just given up. Like they have no fight. And I don't know what it is. And the crazy thing is when you reverse that, there was a time that women were the same way. They had no fight. They had no they didn't care. They didn't care how they said it, what they said, when they said it. They didn't care. They just sleep with anybody. They didn't care. But women began to start loving themselves. They started getting with positive women, and they started doing their own round table and started talking about issues that they have in their own very life. And I can speak for that because I have a lot of friends. We sit around and we talk about things, and we share about how we're feeling and how uh, our reactions to things, and women are doing this self-love, this self-reflect, this self-education, this leadership, being around people, women that are going through the same thing. And I don't think men have that. I don't think men have the opportunity to have that. And it's like at a time that is crucial in our society, they are in pain. And some of it is pain of their own. And for them to come to a place of acknowledgement and understanding that there is always hope and there's always a way out. But it's like they have to get over the ego, they have to get over the hiding, they have to get over the shame, the loss, the failures. They have to get over it because we all have it. We all go through it. We all have our own things that we have to integrate and forgive ourselves for. So yeah, I just thought it would come by for a little bit, because I really have had to do some healing too. And I do understand that some of us all have relationships that were disappointment. And it's hard to let go when you love someone a lot. It's really hard to let go. It's really hard to let them go. But when they're not right for you, it's better to let them go. You know what I mean? If they do something chaotic and crazy, it's because they were meant to be gone in your life. And so it's just like the universe way of exposing that so you can be free. Because if you didn't see it, you wouldn't have changed it, right? Or if they didn't think that you were going to see it, they wouldn't have left, right? So however that falls with you, it was meant to be that way. And know that you are a beautiful person and you deserve to be honored. You deserve to be respected. You deserve to be heard. You deserve to have an opinion in a healthy relationship. You're not a puppet. You're not a mummy. You have thought and you have critical thinking. And so if anybody makes you feel like you're not valuable, then they need to step aside and let you move forward, because you don't have time for that. Because you will, when you understand how powerful you are, you will elevate over all of this, believe it or not. Because in the end, we do win. Don't be frightened. Yeah, a lot of people are waking up. And us long haulers, they've been awakened for a very long time. You sacred men, y'all need to do what's right. Y'all need to do what's right. Y'all need to do that healing. Y'all need, and I think I said this in one of my last posts, heal that mother wound. Heal that mother wound. I have a really dear friend that really did not care for his mom. And she passed away a couple of weeks ago. But the beautiful thing, he got it right with his mom. He healed that, and like I can see the better man in him. You know, men that treat women bad, it's because they have mom issues. Women that treat men bad, they have daddy issues. You know, but when you identify that and you be that better person, I'm telling you, we're gonna get through this. But if I can, y'all live in your truth, live in your heart. Don't live in this. You'll miss out on a lot of stuff. You'll miss out on a lot of stuff because a lot of stuff that moves you, the stuff that really moves you, come from here. This is what the Scorpio tries to tell people. What really moves you comes from here. It don't come from here. It comes from here. And if you always up here, you'll never get this. You'll never get this. You will go 6 foot and you will never experience a Scorpio's love. Because a Scorpio, that love, that deep, deep love, that when you love so deep that you cannot verbalize how deep, because there's no words to articulate that emotion. There's no words to articulate that kind of emotion, that kind of sensuality, that kind of thrust of the soul, the heart, the mind. And what's so crazy, the mind is involved with that, but it's way later. Because when you got this aligned, then you have so much to talk about in your head. And they doing it all backwards. They doing all. That's why men do the head games. Because if they keep her confused, number one, she won't know if he sucks in bed. Because he will gaslight her in that. Number two, she won't never know where he stands because he's jumping around like a gully fish. I call them guppies. That's what I call them. It's easy to draw a guppy, but to get a real good quality man, like, you know, that's really rare, because a lot of men are still stuck in their mother womb and they haven't figured it out, and they're not willing to hear, I call it the Trumpitis. You could be telling them like this ain't working, but they think like it's gonna work. It's not gonna work. I'm just saying. And that, you know, it's not a political thing. I'm talking about his character as a whole. You know, don't want to listen to nobody, you know. So when you're not open to listening, and you're not open to be negotiating, bye Felicia. Because you'll never get anywhere. You want somebody that's driven by their honesty, driven by their soul truth, because those people will not lie to you, and those people will always be authentic. You will know them. You won't have to guess. You won't have to wonder. You won't have to be surprised, even though you're surprised. Because the reason you're surprised, because it's not a lot of people like that. And if you lay upon one of those, you're surprised. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. So yeah, it's rather interesting. But it's just really crazy. And I think I said in one of my posts, it's just not a good time for relationships. It really isn't. Because you're gonna really have to mow through the bullshit. It's a lot of craziness. People are, this is the best way, mad. They're like insane. They don't even realize that their actions are painful. They don't even. They just go on with their bad self and move on, and you know, and that's how that works. So you have to really know where you're at and where you want to be and how that feels to you. And be honest with yourself if you don't know. It's okay not to know. We have so many angels assisting us. They're looking to help and to come and to guide you. You just need to ask them. If you're trying to heal from a toxic relationship, it will come. Toxicity is a addiction. And that's why it's so hard to get them out of you, because it's an addiction. It's like sugar, you know? But it will come. The more you pour into yourself, the more you heal that addiction. Do self-care and self-love and start helping other people through the love of self. And it will change and rock your world. I cannot be with a man that can't give, that is afraid to give, that is afraid to want, that is afraid to surrender, that is afraid to be a man. I will not be with a man that has a big ego. I cannot be with a man that ego reigns his life, because ego is only fear in the subconscious matter. I have no time for the silly rabbit, because he hasn't spent the time to heal from his mom. You have to heal from your mother. You have to let it all go in order to love someone. And she has to let the anger from her father go in order to trust a man with her life. But with that, it's a catch-22. Because if the woman finally heals from her father and surrenders, and she gets with a man that is not healed, he could do trickery, and that's why she needs her inner tuition. We all have it. We just don't listen to it, because we get caught up in the nostalgia of the love relationship. That's my biggest problem, the nostalgia. I do that shit all the fucking time. I'm trying to stop that shit, because that nostalgia thing. And then what they do is they use them freaking ass words. And half the time, I'm gonna be honest with you, half the time the ones that do all the talking, they suck in bed. They suck in bed. It's them quiet ones. It's them quiet ones that never say a thing. Those are the ones that are musicians in the bedroom. They really are. But yeah, it's so interesting. The loud ones are like literally, it's so amazing. But I'm telling you, I wish I could like convey to people how Scorpios love. That's why it takes them so long to go deep, because when they go deep, it's hard for them to pull out of the depth of that relationship. Like they can't just like, well, I'm okay, I see ya. No, they can't do that. They cannot do. They try, they can't. And so even, and you know what's so crazy? A Scorpio can be attracted to a man's energy and not attracted to his appearance. That is the truth. And what draws her is the energy. Because after all, that is where she truly communicates, is sensually. You know, when she speaks from or he speaks from their tongue. Um, Literally, yeah. Yeah. Literally, it's like, yeah, she gets caught up in his soul, because not all Scorpios are good lovers. I'm gonna be honest with that. No, 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 no. Not all of them are good lovers. No, 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 no. They say it in the book, but that's not true. That is not true. I'm just saying. Just saying. But yeah, I didn't mean to go on that subject, but that is the truth. But anyway, it's just like, I really want us to focus on telling the truth to ourselves and stop pretending with these people around us, because they all see it, but they want to stay in Oz, and let them stay in Oz. Be very aware around you and what's going on around you, because it is what you see is really happening. And it just like, I think I did a blog, this was what kind of um motivated me to do another blog, because I was looking at that blog, and I remember, like, because I have bouts of insomnia, and I can have insomnia for 6 to 8 months. It depends. But all this crap that's going on in our world right now, I've had dreams over and over again prior to it all happening. I just really have never spoke it out, and I never talked about it, but I am very aware of what's going on right now. And it's so interesting, because in all my dreams, I I am not afraid. I just have a lot of clarity, and it just blows me away that people are so caught up in the stupid stuff. And what I mean, the stupid stuff, the stuff that is like their toys, you know what I mean? Like things. Um, and not the soul, not the heart. And it doesn't make sense, because, like, somebody can just come in and take us out, and none of that stuff matters. Like, not like, what are you gonna do? Take it with you? What are you gonna do? What you're gonna do is, I wasn't even thinking about it. Like, I have this painting that I absolutely love. I love this painting, and I bought it from a young artist. She's a client of mine's, and I paid a lot of money for that painting, and it's sitting right above my bed, right there, and and sometimes I'll be laying in bed, and I go, what if we have an apocalypse? Like, what am I gonna do about my picture? Because this picture is big. This picture is huge. And it's not on tapestry, it's on like ply, it's like a plywood. And so I go in my mind, I'm like, how, like I could leave everything, but I'm not leaving my picture. You see how idiotic that is? Because if something go down, I want to have my tennis shoes on, and I want to be heading out the door like quickly, right? I ain't trying to take nothing, right? And so that's what's going on in our world. We're so unaware, and even if you're aware, it's just like no, I know I see that I see that flood coming. I see that hurricane come. I see it, but I'm gonna act like it's not over there. Even though you can hear the water, even though you can hear it, even though you can actually get a little splash of water, you don't want to see it. And that's what we're living in. As our world is just like really and those of us that can see it, those of us that are aware of it, those of us that are conscious of it, we're just shaking our freaking heads because, like, how can you not notice? Like, how can you not notice that something ain't right? You know, trains derailing all at the same time. And even my mom said an 18 wheeler went down by her house and they couldn't go outside because it was contamination. That don't seem like all at the same time. That's kind of weird to me. Kind of weird. I don't know. I don't know what your thoughts on it, but it does not seem right. But we can't talk about that because nobody's honest. Nobody's honest. We're not honest people right now. We are not honest people. Sad. Well, I think I'm going to say goodnight. I would like you all to like my page, put a thumbs up, follow me. I'm going to try to come on more, but oh my God, I get so busy. I have a small business and it's an online business, and I'm an Amazon affiliate on top of what I'm doing now. And I get really busy. My website is www.heygorgeousyou.com, and if I'm not working on that, I'm just so busy. And I may be going to Europe this summer, so I got a lot of stuff just going on. I got a lot of stuff that's going on, and so I feel so bad because actually I did not come on, not because of the just being busy. I was going through some heavy, heavy, heavy crap because Scorpios are being attacked right now because we are here for a divine mission. And that's why I think Scorpio men are acting a fool right now because they're powerful source of energy, but they want to act up. They don't want to be. They don't want to act right now. They still dealing with mother shit. But we Scorpio women are holding it down. We're gonna hold it down. But yeah. So I just want to show you some love. You know, follow me, and we'll chat soon. Okay. Talk to you.